All right, back. Lake Effect Sports. I am doing my Jordan flu game today. I am sick with a cold. I'm just being a big baby about it. And when my voice cracks, I have a built-in excuse. So, Indians
Don't worry,
baseball.
I'll be your Scottie Pippen for tonight.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. All right. Indians, they had another week. It kind of feels the same sort of way where they played some baseball again. And well, they're eliminated. That's the big thing to touch on. Let's we're not gonna do our grades yet. We'll do that 2 weeks from now. Still, I think we have a week and a little bit, right?
Yeah, I think we're like 2 weeks away from doing player grades and stuff like that.
But Shane Bieber's coming back tonight, and I think this kind of feels like a metaphor for next season, where Shane Bieber's coming back. You have everyone healthy next year. You have all the reinforcements coming from AAA. Supposedly, we're going to spend money. So this kind of feels like the first start of next year in a way.
Yeah, and I think even though it feels kind of bittersweet now, especially with all the changes happening, the Indians name is going to be forever changed into the Guardians. And then hopefully now this new era as the Guardians, you hopefully have a good start to it. And with Shane Bieber, hopefully that's the first stepping stone, I would say. Yeah, I agree.
Before we go any further, I kind of want to just throw a wild hot take out there, real wild. Everyone healthy on this roster. Is Cal Quantrill the number one starter on this team?
The number one starter?
Yeah.
Ooh, okay. I don't know about number one, but I think he would be someone that would be a really good number two that could be an ace on other staffs. You know what I mean? Because obviously, if Shane Bieber, he's the Cy Young contender. But if Cal Quantrill keeps doing what he's doing, he maybe could be the Fausto Carmona to Bieber's CC. You know what I mean?
Yeah. But the second half of Cal Quantrill has been Cy Young. That's the crazy part.
Yeah, it's like the steps he's taken within a year. He went from being a really good reliever to now being pretty much a really, really good starting pitcher. You can't think you got to think big things with him because he's shown that over the course of the second half that he can maybe be more than just a really solid pitcher.
It's not just a question at this point. He's proven it. It's not this small sample size. It's been half a year. He's got nasty stuff, and he's just got that it factor. You know what I mean? Where he's just got that extra attitude kind of. He has it.
Yeah, he has the right attitude, the right type of swagger. It's not it's cockiness, but not in an asshole type of way. It's the proper type of cockiness where you can get behind it, you know?
Well, I'm sure other teams would consider it assholishness, but we don't.
Yeah.
All right, so that's really about it. This is, I think, our second to last 3-star of the year.
Yeah.
All right, your pick, I know.
Okay, my pick. My pick. We'll just go with maybe it's recency bias, but I'll go with Oscar Mercado.
Darn it, that was my pick. Now I have to think.
Yeah, that walk-off, man. Even though he hasn't had the year I was hoping for from him, just little moments like that. Even if it's maybe the last moment we'll maybe see him up in an Indians uniform, it's still a nice little moment, you know?
Yeah. That's kind of crazy to think that it might be it for him.
Yeah, for a lot of guys, this whole roster might be cleansed within one winter, and it might be a little unrecognizable. Not saying it's you're losing your name brand stars, but just the guys you've gotten used to being around the roster. You know what I mean?
Yeah, the core will be the same, but everything else, the outer layers, nobody is safe.
Yeah, seats are hot in Cleveland these days with the baseball team. That is for sure.
I'm gonna take the boring pick. I'm just gonna take Cal Quantrill, number one. Okay. He had another great start, rebounded off a loss. What else do you have to say? He's been a second half Cy Young candidate. He's probably gonna get some Cy Young votes this year.
I would not be shocked. Even if he just gets one, I would not be shocked.
Not at all. All right, who you got two?
Let's see. You know what? I'll go with Yu Chang. Like Yu Chang has just been solid this whole second half. Like every time he stepped in, he's starting to swing a nice bat. Like he's had his moments, which has been nice, man.
Yeah, he's been phenomenal. He's one of those guys that I think it's between he and Clement now for who can be that extra guy. They don't have the best bats in the world, and I don't think they ever will, but Chang's bat's a little better than Clement's, I think, overall. I think Clement has more potential, but Clement's defense is better. It's one of those weird who are you going to take for that little utility guy role?
Yeah, I think that's something that they always consider. I think with their utility guys in the past, they've always considered glove more than bat. Like that's why you've seen the Eric Gonzalez's, the couple other guys in that same vein. So I would think Clement has an edge, but Yu Chang is making a statement to try to stay on this roster.
Yeah, he's battling at least, that's for sure. All right, and again, I'm going to take another boring pick, real boring pick, but Emmanuel Clase. This second half of the year when he comes into games, it's game over. He's been lights out, phenomenal. What else more do you have to say about the guy? He went from good reliever to one of the best in the business. I think we talked about it last week, but it's the same thing, just another week.
Yeah, and even last night when he didn't have his best stuff, he still gave you a chance, which is ultimately, if you don't get the save, that's the best job, the best thing a closer can do. And he still was able to give you a chance to win on the walk-off, which our guy Oscar Mercado did not in the next inning, which he's just been phenomenal, man. What a pickup.
Yeah. All right, you're second to last. Or
no, I think my last one.
Your penultimate. I was trying to come up with a good phrase for. You just pick. I don't know.
I got you. Yeah, I'll probably go with the. I'll go with Bobby Bradley. He's been starting to pick it up a little bit, which is nice. Been nice to see.
He is a guy that's, I think his roster spot's very, very shaky. A lot of fans really like him because he does have that pop, but he needs a little more consistency at the plate.
I think his roster spot, depending on what they do, is in a good place. Obviously, they're going to have to fix the outfield, but if, say, they make pretty good upgrades in that area, I think you can live with a guy like Bobby Bradley in the seventh hole. Like, he provides some pop, and like he'll probably give you like 20 to 30 home runs a year if they decide to stay with him. But that's just me.
All right, so I went two boring picks, so I have to at least come up with something that's not that lame. So I'm going to go Blake Parker.
Oh, okay.
Out of left field, Blake Parker. I'm really picking him because he's the one that came in from Cal Quantrill's last start and kind of shut the door and saved his outing from being kind of just okay.
Yeah.
Kept all those runners at bay. And Blake Parker's done that a lot this year. He's been the whenever bases are loaded, who are we going to put in the game to try to get us out of it? It's been Blake Parker. He's been consistently solid, and he's really seen his career saved here in Cleveland. Out in Los Angeles, it kind of felt like it was over. And all of a sudden, he's a legit bullpen guy. I would love to see if he'd come back again next year for a decent contract.
Yeah, I wouldn't be shocked by that at all. The Indians always like having veteran bullpen arms, and they are able to squeeze as much out of them as possible. So I would definitely welcome him back.
Yeah, no doubt. All right. So those are the 3 stars of the week.
Mm-hmm.
Let's get into football. Do we want to go college or pro?
Let's switch it up. Let's go college.
All right, college football. Ohio State, the big news this week. No CJ Stroud.
Okay.
Kyle McCord will be the starter, and it doesn't matter. Everyone freaking out about how, the offense could be just like so much better. There's a reason that he didn't win the starting job. He's worse. Stroud was playing with injury. Kyle McCord is going to go face Akron. There's only one thing that will happen from this game. If Kyle McCord stinks against Akron, he's just not good. If he's great against Akron, it means, okay, anyone could have done that. Akron is horrific at football. The line's at like 48.5 right now.
It's something ridiculous.
Hammer Ohio State. That's not enough. The line should be like 60. Akron's horrible. It won't be close from start to finish. Don't worry about that one.
Yeah, and like with OSU, I don't have no worries about them covering. And I guess more my thing was everybody getting on CJ Stroud, like and I was the only one that noticed, hey, he might be injured, because even when he was a little inconsistent, it wasn't as bad as he looked at against Tulsa. And now with the injury, it's just like, just get him healthy. Like, the dude's only 18, he's a freshman, and there's little bits and pieces of where you think there's something really good in there. Like, and I think he can be really good.
I think Ohio State fans are just very spoiled right now too. We had Justin Fields for 2 years, and they don't realize quarterbacks aren't like that. Most teams, you're not going to find a Justin Fields. There isn't a Justin Fields in college football this year. There's nothing like that right now. We have a freshman. Give him some time. Think about JT Barrett's first 2 games here at Ohio State. They were bad.
Not pretty.
The game was horrible. And then the Virginia Tech game, people wanted his head. We were projected a 7-5 season. Give the guys some time. They're young. We're playing tons of freshmen, and some of them are doing phenomenal. Travion Henderson, dude, had like 300 yards almost. He's a freshman, a true freshman.
And he broke the record, the freshman record. Like,
it's
like everybody was expecting national championship or bust, but I think people didn't realize these are all freshmen, and freshmen don't usually do that well in college. It's kind of like, if you've ever seen We Are Marshall, like when they try to field a team of all freshmen to bring their football program back, they got their ass kicked. They only won 2 games. And so basically, freshmen are not always the best options, especially early on. It's when they are sophomores, juniors, and seniors is when you get the best versions of college players.
Yes, it's just time. We need a little bit more time, and people aren't giving these Buckeyes enough time.
Yeah, trust OSU. There's one thing I've learned in life is trust the program. They've been really good all my life. You trust them. They will be good eventually. Just give it a year and they'll figure it out.
Yeah. Also for college football, game of the week, Wisconsin, Notre Dame. I think both those teams stink. Am I wrong?
Yeah, Notre Dame, their whole season is very fragile. If like every win has been close, and if one loss can just completely tear apart their season, because obviously that roster is not that good. Like Toledo hung in with them, Florida State hung in with them. They're just not that good.
No, that's the biggest issue. They're just not that good. Jack Cohn is not that good of a quarterback. There's a reason he didn't win the starting job at Wisconsin. And there's been like one good Wisconsin quarterback my entire life. You can't win a QB job at Wisconsin. You're not a good quarterback. Like, running back job, okay, I get it. There's great running backs there. You didn't win the O-line job, okay, that happens. You can't play quarterback at Wisconsin. You're not good at football.
Yeah, Wisconsin is the definition of Big Ten football. They are run, 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 occasionally pass, run, run, run. And if you can't win the job at Wisconsin, what are you doing?
I can't believe Notre Dame can't get a better. You didn't have any like contingency plan for like the last 7 years of Ian Book? Really? This was your best plan? Was transfer Jackie Cohn, Jackie Heisman?
Like, Notre Dame, you are a blue blood. You should be able to get better prospects, but yet somehow they have been stuck with mediocrity after mediocrity for so long. It's honestly impressive how they've been able to stay in the conversation, and yet they get their ass kicked every year when they get in the playoff. Like, it's incredible.
So that one's in Chicago. Who do you like in that one?
I still think Notre Dame is probably win, but just by the slightest margin.
I think Wisconsin, they're going to rebound from that Penn State loss, and they're going to get themselves back in some little bit of momentum. So I'm going to take Wisconsin in this one.
Okay. Yeah, that's fair.
All right, so let's shift over to NFL. Talk about some Browns from last week. We won. Was it pretty? No.
No.
Do we have receivers this week now? Maybe Odell. We don't know yet. I mean,
It's
we
been
have him, but
confirmed, though. It's been
we
confirmed.
have him, but like, what kind of Odell? Healthy Odell?
Yeah,
So,
I think he's probably going to be on a pitch count, but still his presence is going to be huge, especially for the young guys that probably need a little bit of guidance from somebody that's a veteran.
and let's just like let's cool the hate on the Browns. Baker threw 2 incompletions last week. We won by 10 points, guys. What are we mad about? When's the last time we've ever had a Browns game that we win by 10? And really, at any point, like, I know we were losing in the first half, but like, did the game ever feel in doubt to you?
I was at the stadium. I mean, it didn't feel in doubt, but obviously it was just a little bit like, okay, when are you guys going to turn it on? Because I know you guys are going to win, but when is it going to like? But other than that, I knew the game was going to be won eventually. It was just one of those things where it was like, I think they kind of had a hungover from the game before, and they kind of sleepwalked for the first half and then turned it on the second half when it mattered.
Exactly. And you're not going to do that with the Bears. Obviously, Justin Fields is a little bit better, but all these Ohio State homers freaking out about how he's going to ruin our season. What are you talking about? Did anyone see him last week in Cincinnati? He wasn't great. I think Justin Fields is going to be a phenomenal NFL quarterback down the line. But the Bears stink. David Montgomery is okay. That O-line is pitiful. And Allen Robinson's the only like NFL caliber receiver on that roster. They're not that good. Like, what are we freaking out about? It's at home. We're going to run the ball down their throats. They're just not that good. Their defense is so bad. Their secondary is pitiful. They have a decent D-line, but our O-line's better than their D-line. Like, football fans right now in Ohio are just making me so upset. Like, why am I the rational one? I'm usually the irrational one, and I don't like it. I don't like having to calm everyone down.
Yeah, that's usually me. And I'm looking at like I'm hearing things on like talk radio where it's like, oh, Justin Fields, his mobility. I don't know, man. It might get dicey. And I'm thinking, it's a rookie quarterback in his first game. He might have moments, yes, but it's a rookie quarterback in his first game against a bunch of guys in the Browns that are way more talented than the team he has. Like, put 2 and 2 together. The Browns are probably going to win, guys. They're going to win.
And I know the defense isn't perfect yet. And Joe Woods, everyone wants to go whine and moan about him all the time.
Yeah.
It's the 3rd game with a whole new defense, guys. Like,
8 or 9 starters that were new. 8 or 9 starters. This isn't Madden. It takes time. Like, think of what the offense was last year. It took maybe until the bye week until it was in its best form. It might take around that same time frame for the defense. Because there's so many new guys here. Like, that's the frustrating part. Everybody wants the full-fledged form, but they're not patient enough because they're freaking out about the details. Stop focusing on the tree and like while you're in the forest, whatever the expression is. Like, just stop freaking out.
We're good. We're a great team. We showed that against the Chiefs. We showed that against the Texans. The Texans are bad. Like that Texans game it felt like an old Browns game where the Browns missed that late field goal in the end. The Browns get the injured quarterback. Mm-hmm. The Browns defense can't make a stop. No, it wasn't. That was the Texans, guys. Like, it's like fans didn't watch the game. We won by 10. Now we have the Bears. All we got to do is just win. I'm not saying let's just win football games. Doesn't matter how. I don't care. Let's make the playoffs. Let's go on a little run. This team's great. The expectations now, I have them. Like, I'm in. This is a Super Bowl team. Like, let's go. Let's move forward. There's not flaws. Baker's not holding us back this year. Like, you can't use that as an excuse. He's great. No excuses with him.
Yeah, it's so frustrating. And yeah, just win. Like, there's no style points in the NFL. It's not college. There's no such thing as style points. It's win and win, basically.
And you feel like you're the best team in the division right now. I mean, the Ravens, Lamar Jackson's unbelievable, and he's going to single-handedly win them 10 games this year. Don't get that, like, mistaken.
Yeah.
But Big Ben is going to single-handedly lose the Steelers six games. The rest of the games, how much can the defense cover? How much can those receivers just yank Ben through the season. That O-line's pitiful. The Steelers are not very good. The Bengals are maybe even better than the Steelers right now, just because Joe Burrow can throw the ball downfield. And even then, he's not even that great at throwing the ball downfield. I want people to go back and watch some film about how – let me restart. People keep talking this all offseason about how Joe Burrow is better than Baker. One, I don't – what stat – like, what are you watching? Like, just even using the eye test? No. Now, please watch a Bengals game and just tell me you think Joe Burrow is better. He can't throw it downfield. He doesn't have an arm. He doesn't have this big cannon. He was just a great manager on an LSU team that was loaded with NFL talent. And oh yeah, they cheated to get that team. That's why they were so great.
We're looking at you, Ed Odoron.
Yeah. So I'm just mad. I'm just mad with Browns fans, and I have been my whole life. And we're good. What are we complaining about now? Like, I get it. You guys were mad, angry idiots in the past because we stunk. We did. But like back then, you guys thought we would make the playoffs when we were like a 3-win team. Now we are a 13-win team, and you're like freaking out. Where's the line? When can we consider ourselves a good football team?
I think it's just, I think the fan base is so scarred that the Browns need to, at this point, they need to have like a 10-year elongated bit of success where the fan base can finally accept, hey, we're a good football team. We don't have to freak out about every little detail. We'll be all right. But for right now, we're in year 2 of this. We're in year 2. Kevin Stefanski is in year 2, and the fans are in year 2. So we're all trying to figure out how success works along with the team.
Yeah. All right. So let's go over to another decisive topic. Benjamin Simmons.
Ooh.
I have started. I go through this like cycle where I'm like, Ben Simmons sucks. I'm like, Ben Simmons is all right. I kind of want Ben Simmons. I really want Ben Simmons, and Ben Simmons sucks. And I'm kind of at the point where I'm like, I kind of want Ben Simmons right now. I think he's a game changer. He's a 6'11" point guard who plays the best defense in the league. And if you can just get him to start shooting the ball in the paint more, go to the hole. Think of like someone like I saw T-Mac talking about it today, how Giannis. There's no way to stop a Giannis. Start doing that with Ben Simmons. The coaching for Ben Simmons has never been great. They've always had him kind of just stand at the top of the key. Get him involved going towards the hoop. Get him in some pick and roll action. He's really hard to stop in pick and roll. I think he could be a fun piece for a Cavs team. Am I willing to give up everything we have for him? No, but let me ask you this. Sixers come to the table. They say, we want Colin Sexton and 1 first-round pick. Yes or no?
I think that would be reasonable. If it's only like a 1 player and a pick, I think that would be more than fine. Because for what he brings, I think that's really, really attractive, especially if paired with Darius and Mobley. I think that's really interesting.
Now you're feeling a roster that's the best defense in the league, maybe. You have Mobley, who's an elite defender, or soon to be elite defender. I don't think he will be his rookie year. Jared Allen's a great defender, and Ben Simmons. That's a lot of great defense. Hey, if you don't have offense, you don't really have it now. Well, let's be a grit and grind team for a change.
Yeah, and if you can figure out how to unlock that mean streak in Ben, so he's able to score more than like 13, 14 points a game, you might have something. And obviously his stock is really down. Everybody thinks he sucks and can't be a championship level player, but he can definitely take you to the playoffs. And the Cavs are for sure trying to get to that point again. So if the right offer's on the table, why not? Why not? You know?
Yeah. And that's the crazy thing. I think people just love to hate on Ben Simmons, obviously. People forget he's a superstar in this league. There's a reason he's been an all-star all these years. And there's a reason the Sixers are asking so much for the guy. He's a true superstar in the NBA. Don't forget that, guys. Like, he's legit. L-E-G-I-T.
Yeah, he's in the vein of Giannis, where he's a unique player with a unique skill set. He just needs to be in a place that makes sense for him that they can cultivate him and make him a better version of himself.
All right, so then let's ask the question: is Cleveland really that place?
At the moment, I'm not sure.
No. But my thought is, I don't think this Cavs team, like even like 3 years down the road, it doesn't feel like a championship roster. Anyways, it feels like you're gonna have to mix things up. Anyways,
Mm-hmm.
so what's the risk in taking Ben Simmons? Like, oh, we suck again. Oh well, like we've already been bad. Who cares? We're gonna probably not be that great this year. Ben Simmons makes you interesting.
Yeah, and he at least brings a stardom that the Cavs haven't had since LeBron. And so maybe you could like while you're trying to figure out how to work with Ben, you can at least be relevant, if that makes sense. You can at least be like, hey guys, we exist. Remember? Look at Ben Simmons, right? Ben Simmons, he's a star, right? Like
Yeah.
that. I think that's the thing that's been missing with the Cavs is that superstar. Obviously, we were hoping Evan Mobley takes that spot. But I mean, Ben Simmons is already established, so that helps. It will bring in a lot of casual fans back to the Cavs who have turned them off the last 3 or 4 years.
Yeah, and it also helps with, again, it's another piece that helps Mobley's development. A guy who can get him nice open shots, take pressure off him. I mean, the media is going to get much more upset at Ben Simmons when he makes mistakes than they will at Evan Mobley. So that's another nice little bonus. He's used to it. I mean, the Cleveland media is nowhere near as bad as the Philly media, and we have a crappy media.
Yeah, we are definitely a lot softer than Philly. Philly is low key kind of like New York media, where it's like they will throw haymakers at you and they don't care, like headlines and all that stuff.
No doubt. It's them, LA, and New York. It's those three kind of suck.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So that's everything. You got anything else?
I think that's it. Yeah.
Well, thank you guys for watching. Check us out. Twitter, TikTok, all the social medias will be linked in the description on YouTube. Thanks for watching and peace out, guys.